through action of our legislature, such as Douglas, are prospering now because of investments made by the Dekalb County. We're the ones that invested and saw that that perimeter business area was developed. The perimeter CID was largely supported, I mean, to the tune of millions of dollars. I voted for it as a county commissioner, along with my colleagues. And the same thing here, while it's not incorporated, in the Stonecrest area. You know, by millions of dollars of investment by the citizens of the Dekalb County to pay taxes here. So there's no question that we're a vibrant county, but it's not that one portion of the county, by virtue of incorporation, is more vibrant than the other. Now, we need new laws about incorporation. I'm going to say, I know this isn't exactly related to your question, but right now we've got a fight down in the General Assembly about whether the Brookhaven area should be incorporated. And I'm not in favor of incorporating that area now. There was a vote today to change the name from Brookhaven to Ashford. But whatever you call it, it's divisive. It is pitting the county against the proposed area to be incorporated. It's pitting incorporated areas against other incorporated areas within the county. It's pitting neighbors against neighbors and people against people. And that's not good for any community, and it's not good for the Dekalb County. And why? Because the current rules allow what's really a race to the gold dust. Because whoever can draw a city and incorporate the most affluent commercial areas who don't get a vote, because all they're doing is creating cities that are being subsidized by commercial property. And the owners of that commercial property don't get the vote on it. So it's not good public policy. Because any policy that divides people as opposed to bringing people together is not good public policy. So we need a moratorium. We need to say, wait, some of the cities want to annex that area, and then it just moves to create a new city. We need good legislation. We need some statesmen and women shift under the gold dome to bring us better legislation. So that's really going on. And is there anything you want to add that I didn't say about? Because I got a few people here. Okay. Now, the people statement is all I'm going to be able to get in today. I'm going to ask let's move quick because I got to talk about transportation before I leave. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay. My name is Kathy Schreiber. I live over in Harrison area, Harrison Medan, and I'm just curious as to what's being done to try and help with the increase in crime in that area. Because it's definitely going up. I know I'm looking at the stakeholder report and I understand that crime for the Dekalb County as a whole went down. But it doesn't seem like it's gone down in that area in particular. In fact, it seems like it's going up. We're getting dead bodies now, murders now, getting open drug deals happening at the gas stations. I'd just like to know what's being done to address that. Okay, I'm going to let either Chief, do you want that or the rest of you want? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. One of the concerns with your area right there, you're on the border to the precinct, so we have some delineation there that we have to deal with breakdown. But we continue to focus. As a matter of fact, I was just speaking over here about the panhandlers up on Wesley Chapel, how we've been addressing that problem that's been brought to our attention, and I think from the report I just got from this gentleman that we are making some progress. Yes, you did have a homicide up there. It was a random drive-by shooting on Wesley Chapel about 2 weeks ago. We made an arrest on that case. There is a perception of crime throughout the county, and not just to us. I've been in the Chiefs Conference this week, and we're all sharing information that even though we are seeing our crime numbers down, the perception is always going to be a little bit there no matter what we do. And as the CEO said a moment ago, we're putting Band-Aids on things. No fault of his at all. We're asking for what we need. He's giving it to me as much as he can, but we got to get the votes from the commission. They've got to approve the budget that he's approved for the year.
I understand that you're working. I know you're limited with your resources. What I was talking about is the area specifically Redan and Harrison, not up at Wesley Chapel. There's a dead body found over in Main Street. There are more break-ins happening in this area now, specifically coming from Main Street and from Eland. cross traffic there. There are open drug deals that are happening every day at the gas station, right there on the corner of Reed and Harrison, and the police cars are just driving by. But I mean, you can stand and watch them, and they're day and night.
Yes, ma'am. Maybe we could get her info so we can contact her and follow up. We have a particular issue going on the very first half of the local convenience store. We were able to start front course over there and getting 12 arrests in handguns were covered. And I've already got a number of emails and some success over there, but if you'll get your info, we will address that.
Okay, gotta move fast. Yes, sir. Well, first I do want to compliment you on the job that you've done the past 4 years in terms of managing county services with declining resources. But in light of declining resources, and looking at what I think is one of the major problems in the county, that's the imbalance in the residential tax base versus business tax base, that's being exacerbated by the decline in housing. And recognizing that you can only cut so far, as we look to the future, can you give us your thoughts, or maybe better still, not to put you on the spot, maybe what you can commit to in the second year, what you would invest in, or how you would invest in economic development to, in fact, expand the tax base to take care of some of the issues?
Yeah, I think some of it's real fast. I'm doing two things. Not only it's not what I wait for a second term to do. We're doing it now, and I want to continue to finish this work. Number one, I talked about the libraries. I talked about the new YMCA. We're doing a partnership with the YMCA. I talked about the soapbox derby track, the rec centers. I talked about the streetscape improvements. I think it's important that we invest in quality of life, because that first and foremost not only drives residents to want to live here, but businesses want to locate in an area that looks good. And water and sewer systems that function, and transportation systems that get people around. And that's part of the reason I believe that the transportation referendum is important to us. Second, we're examining how we're looking at economic development, economic development in the county. We've been working very closely with the stakeholder group, with the chamber. We have a new director of economic development, Charles Watley, who came over here from the Atlanta Development Authority, well respected throughout the state. So we're really revamping our whole model for economic development in the county. And Charles can get into the details of his strategic plan for economic growth in the county. And then the third thing is we're partnering with our school system. It is critically important that not only we have a well-functioning school system, but we have a reputation of having a well-functioning school system, because maybe that's more than anything else drives economic growth. And so I understand that I can't do my job well if I don't support undergraduate schools, and that's why we're doing things like the STEM program, like the soapbox derby, like the Higher Education Advisory Council, and working with the superintendent as they work through their strategic plan. So that's my short, fast answer to give how we have. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Sonali Kazane, and we've spoken before. I have a follow-up question. You were talking about maybe looking at children properties to promote adoption rates.
Yes.
And I'm curious what that
To provide a better environment for adoption.
What does that mean? I mean, I want to be able to picture what that means. Does that mean that the animals that are adoptable come to this facility on the weekend, or is it
I want you to, because of time, I'm going to ask, and I know this is, we talked 3 times, and I know this is the issue at the interview, so Director Miller oversees animal services, but and he'll know some of the details that I may not have. But essentially, we've been talking with our task force to find a better facility, and we thought there might be a closed facility, commercial facility, that sells animals that we might be able to readily convert, because the businesses are closing now, into a better facility than what we have now. We know it won't cure all of the needs of our animal services facility, but it begins to relieve some of that pressure until we have the resources to do something better. So that would be our idea on that. Okay, and Director Miller, okay, great, yes, ma'am.
Yes, my name is Joanne Verifine, and I would like to know what is the procedure for getting street lights on Randale, Rockland, and Evansville Road?
We have a process, and Ken, can you also give us this verify? petition signed by your neighbors, and you'll have to supplement some of the costs. And then you take that before the Board of Commissioners, and they'll vote on it. But there's a certain percentage within the area of signatures you'll have to get. So, Mr. Reinhardt's going to tell you how to do that this day. Right here in the front row. Okay, yes, ma'am.
Yes, I have just a general statement because time is limited, or several questions in one, and I know people in this room probably.
I'm going to give you one question, but I'll stick around for a few minutes and talk to you, okay?
All right.
All right.
I'm from the Barrington Station subdivision on Barrington Road behind the Walmart on Canova. And that area has drastically changed in the last 2 years since my roommate and I have been living over there. There is now gang activity where a man is soliciting young girls at the bus stop. He sits at the bus stop and sees which kids parents are absent or latchkey, or which girls are being promiscuous by the rest of the kids. And he targets and predatorily goes after those children to participate in his gang and his, prostitution activities. There's random gunshots. There are kids out here with guns. There are kids doing I don't know what in abandoned apartments. The school over there is horrible, the elementary school. My roommate has 2 small children. She doesn't even want her kids to come over.
Let me tell you what we're going to do, and I'm going to ask the major right here to come talk to you. Nobody should have to live in that environment, and so you just want to make sure that there's added police presence there. But let me tell you what we're doing, and I'm glad you did. I wish I could hear all your questions. But I want to respect everybody's time, and also know the library will close until we are losing.
We are being about as efficient and innovative as the government can be under some very adverse circumstances every day.